喂，你今日飲咗未啊？
飲 orange juice？
青紅蘿蔔豬骨湯？
Coffee or tea or me？
飲橙汁？不如試下飲 Coffee Bubble Tea 啦。
Welcome. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coffee Bubble Tea. Today we have some very special guests with me in addition to Samson.
Hello， 我係 Vivian 啦，咁我係嚟呢度做一個 summer internship， 做2個月嘅 summer internship 啦。咁而家 so far 都已經過咗大半啦。我喺香港嚟嘅summer internship 咁樣。
So how is your internship so far?
我覺得 so far 我可以試到嘅嘢有好多，同埋我覺得呢度同香港好唔同，好多嘢都即係無論係成個工作嘅即係 environment 啊，或者係啲人做嘢嘅態度啊，咁都好唔一樣咯。即係我上年都有做過喺香港嘅 local internship 咁樣，咁你會發覺啲人 working 嘅即係個節奏啦，佢會快好多嘅，然後佢會不斷催你做好多嘢咁樣，係好多 expectation 啊咁。咁但係呢度 so far 嘅話會P 少少啦，我唔肯定係啦，即係會個成個節奏大家會慢啲啦，會比較多work-life balance 之類啦 guess 係咯。
Interesting. Yeah, I think we do hear that from time to time from people who may be working elsewhere and have that different experience. So definitely something that we might talk about in the future as well. But today I wanted to talk about food culture because food for me hits home. I love to eat food and make food. And when I was younger, I wanted to even be a chef, but I abandoned that idea, unfortunately, after having some poor kitchen experiences while working in one. But, nevertheless, my love for food, tasty food, has never went away, and I'm always on the lookout for some good food. So if you have any recommendations or anything, feel free to message me, and I'll definitely take a look at it.
我喺廚房洗個碗嘅。It was actually my relative's kitchen.
Okay, yeah.
So I was sort of illegal work. Okay. 翻你個 topic 先。
No worries. So before we begin talking about food, let's have some fun. Wordplay. Which one would you choose if you could only choose one? And maybe explain a little bit about your choice. First item, coffee, bubble tea, coffee, bubble tea, or tea?
Tea.
Coffee.
Bubble tea.
Yeah.
咖
啡點解喺邊度發展出嚟嘅咧？
其實我以前細個嘅時候係會中意 bubble tea 多啲嘅，咁但係我唔知可能過咗個年紀啦已經。因為
仲喺呢個年紀
keep young， 跟住係而家覺得佢啲漏咯，即係飲多咗嘅話，同埋特別係啲珍珠咧，跟住好甜啦，同埋食完之後好飽咁樣，咁反而係
你知道漏點解
？Yes. Yes.
係咯，反而係我覺得咖啡陣味好香，即係大下開始識得欣賞咖啡嗰種苦苦地嘅味道，但係我都仲係飲緊 latte 嘅啫，係咯。
Maybe you just need to change the sugar level and the ice level and all those.
酒珠咯。
Yeah.
係我通常都會嗌
customizations that they have now, which is like so fancy. I just want to get something like plain and Jane.
我中意其實喺香港嘅話咧，因為香港好多啲 independent 嘅 bubble tea shop 咧，咁我會去叫凍嘅 plain 烏龍茶啊嗰啲咁，有啲咧佢哋即係 they want to diversify too, so they have a really good 茶葉，跟住咧就係咯凍鐵觀音咁樣，咁咧就可以又 feel 到I feel cool going to those shops. And then I get tea as well.
Young and cool.
Yeah.
And every time I go to one of those shops, there's like so many options. I get lost, so I feel too intimidated to go through it. Yeah.
我估其實可能都係因為香港好多 bubble tea 嘅 shop 啦，我屋企附近啊，行5分鐘嘅距離咧，係有可能7至10間咁樣。真係我飲得太多啦已經，所以係啊。但係
買 latte。
但係如果你想飲茶，即係又想去啲 bubble tea shop 嘅話，我會介紹，即係如果你返香港啦，可以去 combine tea。我覺得啲茶係幾好飲， 或者如果係綠茶嘅話，我覺得茶古道啲綠茶或者係天人啲綠茶都好好飲。
呢度你有冇去天人嘅呢度
Tenrins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it any
It
good?
used to be, I think, one of the first bubble tea shops here. Before all these other variations came to play. I think it was like one of the first, like to really make it like popular, I guess. Next one, sushi or pizza? We should try and do these a little quicker.
Sushi.
Sushi
生冷喎，但係 sushi
好食喎，
pizza 又熱氣，
係啊，
係 sushi 嘅。
Remember, you can only if you choose one, you can't eat the other one ever again.
Oh，
I should have made that.
咁 sushi
我會揀 sushi。
Sushi
Can't get rid of that. Okay, nice. Sushi for me too. Ice cream or cake?
cake
cake 啊，
Cake?
會係再 specific 啲，我會揀 cheese cake。
Okay. I think for me it would be ice cream. Ice cream. I really like ice cream. Okay. Milk tea or coffee?
奶茶啦，
我都係奶茶
extension 我都係飲奶茶。
Yeah.
係
Okay.
香港啲奶茶，
但係你頭先揀咖啡嘅喎，唔係咩？
但係香港我中意茶餐廳奶茶，而唔係
Okay
bubble tea 嗰啲。
Okay. This one is pretty difficult too. Pho or ramen?
哦，
我會揀 pho。
Pho?
嗯，
How about you?
我 probably 係 fair 嘅。
Pho?
Yeah.
They're both pretty rich foods for sure. Pho for me and milk tea for the one previously. Rice or noodles?
rice。
Yeah, for the rest of my life 嘅，因為 noodles there are so many variations。 rice
你都可以用唔同餸㗎，
但係就已經餸啦嘛，但係 just noodle itself 係有好多
都係。
我其實都有好多年咧，我係唔食，即係出親街只會食麵唔食飯嘅。
That's true.
I abstain 係咪 abstain 啊？即係如果唔得，可唔可以
Yeah, I guess. That's not part of the game, but that's okay.
I just wanted to use the word.
Sure. I think for me it would be noodles. I think noodles is, like you said, more variation, that kind of thing. Okay. Pasta or a sandwich?
Pasta I guess 係咯，中意大份啲嘅嘢。
Yeah，因為你講到一生人啊嘛，我想食，我唔想食咁多凍嘢啊，真係。頭先已經揀咗 sushi 啦。
That's funny. Okay.
Pasta.
I think for me, I would have to choose a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah, I already have noodles, so.
Okay.
I think noodles covers it, right? Okay, so that was fun. Goes to show like gives a little insight into what we like to eat and what we don't like to eat, I guess. But definitely, hopefully, we never have to make that choice where we have to choose one thing where we can't go without the other. One of my favorite types of cuisine definitely has to be my own culture's food, which is Chinese and Asian food. Are there any foods that you are missing right now, that you normally like to eat? And for our guest intern, like, since you are from Hong Kong, like, are there any foods that you are missing from back home?
其實我嚟之前，即係好多嘢都 mark 咗啊！我要呢度一定要試。但喺度過咗一兩個月嘅時候，我已經 mark 咗好多嘢，我翻香港一定要食翻。即係例如係嗰啲葡撻啦，即係我覺得香港啲葡撻同呢度啲葡撻係唔同嘅陣味。係啦，咁或者係我之前諗到過，其實我覺得 bubble tea 香港啲 bubble tea 都係好飲啲嘅。所以我估我都應該翻去狂飲呢樣嘢。
What makes it so much like？
我暫時飲，我覺得我唔知係咪因為嘅奶係平啲或者係好啲咁樣啦。佢啲奶味好出咯，反而啲茶味唔係好濃咯。反而香港我飲嘅 bubble tea shop 啲茶味都係比較濃，即係佢個我唔知，我覺得個調配個比例會比較啱我自己個口。
Yeah. I wonder if it has to do with the method, like, because I know milk tea especially is done in a very specific way with the, like the sock and everything, like, 絲襪啊，係咪？係
絲襪奶茶。
Yeah, so then, like, I guess, I can also say for sure, like, when I went back to Hong Kong many years ago and I had their milk tea there, like it was very much different. Like it was so much smoother and tastier. Definitely richer too in flavor. So yeah, I don't know what it is about here that is maybe a little bit different.
其實真係會嘅，我覺得即係奶嘅 ingredient 啦，或者啲水啊，咁同埋 even 有啲即係 mass produced 嘅 ingredients，let's say some kind of commercial 茶葉，都即係可能係 by region 咧會有唔同，有少少唔同啊咁。Yeah。有咩想食啊？返香港或者香港掛住嘅嘢食？我都幾 regularly 會去喺香港食牛腩麵啊、牛腩河咁。
呢度都有牛腩麵㗎。
Yeah, but it's not that kind. 係清湯腩嗰啲咯，叫做。
Yeah.
Where?
I think like there's lots of places. I think like if you go to those wonton mean shops, are they different?
Okay, wonton mean shop they usually give you 嗰啲牛腩嘅汁 is dark, right?
Yeah.
And the soup is darker.
Oh, okay.
But 清湯腩嗰啲咧the color is sort of like fur.
Yeah.
So actually 食 fur 嘅話咧，我就會叫熟腩嘅。
Oh.
Okay. So it sort of replaces that craving for
you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, maybe jumping back a little bit, like what kind of food do you guys like to eat in general? Like, I should probably have asked that first.
General. Like, let's say if there's a scenario, let's say 話出街食嘢啦，想去邊㗎嘛
？Sure. There doesn't have to be like a specific.
Actually, 我都會即係 Vietnamese 都係會成日諗嘅。茶餐廳都多諗嘅，因為嗰個有杯嘢飲咧，呢個 it's a really big perk.
Like attractive.
Yeah.
Like a combo meal kind of.
係啦，因為食完個 fur 咧，you're just sitting there. Like 即係要 I need some conclusion.
我明啊，我都要咁樣嘅。
Really？
因為茶餐廳咧，即係啦 ，the whole ritual 咧就係你食完之後咧，佢即係佢再 there's added service because she's maybe not she but the person is bringing something else to you and you can say thank you again。因為嗰個 thank you 有少少係 satisfy 咗嘅 thank you 啊嘛。跟住 and then that bit of sweetness。
So you're just waiting to say thank you twice.
都有少少。
Okay. I get that. What about you? I guess.
我嘅話，其實我幾中意 Korean food 嘅。
Korean food is really good too. Yeah.
所以如果出街食嘢，我估或者 Japanese 咯，係咯，就係我會通常揀呢兩種。
Have you had Korean or Japanese food here?
Yes.
Yeah.
我上次試過一間韓國嘢喺 Chinatown 嘅，我覺得係幾 good 嘅，雖然有少少貴，但係我覺得係佢個份量好大份啦，呢度嘅嘢全部都，跟住佢個味道都我覺得比香港好食咯。
Okay. Nice.
你去邊咧？
我都係中意食越南嘢多咯。I think my mom told me once that I think my grandpa was born in Vietnam and then he went down to China or something at one point. I haven't confirmed this or anything.
Okay.
So I might be like half Viet or
fur in your blood.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's why. I mean, it would make sense. Like I really love pho and Vietnamese food in general. I don't think there's anything I haven't had. I mean, that I've had that I don't like. So that. But I think in general, food to me speaks more than just like the taste that you put in your mouth. Like when you're eating, you're just like, it's good, that kind of thing, right? But then when I'm eating it, I'm like all these things kind of start popping back into my head, like my memories, and like it sparks like an emotional feeling out of that. But I generally like all kinds of food. I don't really have any specifics, I guess. Like I do like a lot of I like trying different kinds of foods, I would say. Yeah. 如果你講到即係 emotional 少少嘅話，我好中意食甜品啊，其實即係所以食甜嘢會令到我好開心嘅，係即係心情好愉悅咁樣。What makes it makes you happy about it when you eat it? Like what?
我唔知，總之係食完甜嘅係好 relax 嘅感覺，即係特別有壓力嗰啲咧，好中意買個 cake 咁樣喺度慢慢食。係啊。
需唔需要件 dessert 靚嘅咧？
我會中意買啲靚嘅 dessert 咯，但係佢唔 necessary 嘅。我覺得好食係重要啲嘅，係啦，靚嘅話只不過係俾我影相 post 上 IG 嘅之後，佢再加分下啫咁樣咯。
There are those desserts that look so cute and like so beautiful that I'm like I don't want to eat it because like the person put so much like love into it, and then it's like I don't want to like ruin it. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that when I look at a really beautiful dessert. I feel, yeah. Is there anything you don't like to eat?
Going out.
Anything, I guess, like whether it be Chinese food. I have a few that I can mention, but yeah. Are there any foods that you don't like to eat or really dislike, or maybe even when you were a child you really did not like, and now that you're older, you actually like it now?
唔 like 住先，講炒飯啊，好唔中意食炒飯。
哦，
點解嘅？
唔知咧，係咪因為好 uniform 咧？即係 every bite is the same 咁樣。
But if you put different ingredients, it won't be the same every bite.
係咯，啲 sauce 都會唔一樣噶喎。
I don't like sauce with.
Oh, you don't like sauce?
係啦，炒飯我都冇心諗過點解咁唔中意啊 ！Just don't like it. Yeah.
Maybe it's too dry.
Yeah.
係
咯。
Okay.
同埋咧嗰個可能同佢飲有關啊，因為 the other thing that I don't like is 嗰個好脆嗰個炒麵咧，我覺得好 confused 嘅 ，because it's crunchy and then there is the sauce and then it makes it wet. I'm not sure what我唔肯定我係 how to handle it。
係咪嗰啲咩龍蝦伊麵嗰啲？
唔係龍蝦伊麵嗰啲炒麵咧你知唔知邊個？
咩啊？
即係炒麵啦，下低好 crunchy， 跟住上高就鋪嗰啲菜啊，有個芡啊嗰啲。
It's like a bird's nest kind of. And then they put the ingredients, and then you mix it, and then it becomes like one almost. I know this because I just had it yesterday.
咁你中唔中意
？I like it. I like that texture profile. It's like crunchy, but then when you add the sauce, it has like it becomes a little bit less crunchy, like more wet. And then when you add the different ingredients to it, it just feels so good.
That's exactly the reason I like.
我嘅話，輕嘅少少，我唔係好中意芫茜嗰陣味。即係其實我普遍唔中意啲太濃味嘅咩芫茜啊、洋葱啊、韭菜啊之類咁樣咧。即係我都食完之後成口都係嗰陣味嗰啲嘢咧，我就仲有咩蒜頭喺度係，就我唔係好中意啲齒頰留香嘅東西咁樣。
Yes, they're very strong.
係。
Yeah, especially if you need to go out and need to talk to somebody in a confined space, then it definitely would add to the odors in the air. I just had garlic bread, by the way, so yeah, don't.
I don't feel anything.
Okay, good. There's one that I particularly did not like growing up, but I think I've grown a little bit more to it, and that is bitter melon.
Oh,
苦瓜。
都係啊，都係大個先中意食。
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys disliked it when you were younger, and you like it now, or never really had any issues with it?
而家嘅我幾中意食苦瓜，反而係有陣時 Samson 話好似姐姐
大人嘢食嚟。我係20幾歲先至 I would go out and I ask for 涼瓜排骨飯。
Oh, like specific.
And I would stand out. I would make sure the menu have it.
Yeah.
And then go in, or else I would go to another one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just the bitterness of it that just maybe when I was younger I just did not like it because no matter what you put together with it, it just always tasted the same. Like even if you put like a lot of sauce on it, it just forever tasted bitter. So it was like no, like I couldn't do it.
有個咧係以前屋企阿婆會整有個類似湯嘅嘢係苦瓜排骨同埋鹹酸菜嘅。咁細個咧係覺得好難食嘅，但係 跟住咧就係到廿幾歲突然間 turn around 咧，發現好好味嘅。
Really?
Yeah.
Like it was just like, did you have to gradually get into it, or did it just like as the next time you had it, you just like, oh, now it tastes good?
Yeah. 因為即係過咗嚟咁耐咧，就冇整啦。跟住翻到去突然間發現咧，即係 missed out all those years 呢個咁好味嘅嘢。
Really? Wow. Interesting.
都係一個 memory， 即係都係一個屋企嘅 taste 嚟嘅嘢。
我細個好唔中意食蛋黃嘅，唔知點解。跟住係啊，跟住但係我大下咧就發現原來蛋黃即煎蛋啲蛋黃撈飯咧係好好食嘅。然後我理解唔到點解細個自己唔中意，即係佢只係突然之間嘅咯，即係佢就唔係即係慢慢咁樣變，係突然之間發覺原來佢好好味嘅咁樣。
我有次咧，即係我覺得即係好煩噶嘛，你食太陽蛋唔食蛋黃，跟住我有次我同阿媽講我要試多一次啦咁。我就話可能我撈落一個飯有啲豉油有火腿腸仔咧，可能好味嘅。跟住我整咗之後咧，食咗幾啖都係唔得啦。
Couldn't do it, eh?
係啦，所以到而家都唔中意。
It's so interesting how you guys talk about like there were foods that you may not have enjoyed, and then suddenly, like out of the blue, you just like start eating it again, maybe not having eaten it for a while, and then it just became like, oh, I like this now. It's like, how does that happen? It's like, I don't know, your taste buds just like change like that. I don't know. There must be like some science behind it, but I find that interesting. So moving on a little bit, food has the power to bring everyone together to talk, laugh, joke, create, spend time together. You know, it also has the ability to entice memories or stories that you may remember from when you were having those foods. So for you guys, have you ever had any foods that you've eaten that have triggered these sorts of memories or stories while eating or preparing that food? And what significance does it have for you?
我通常係阿爸煮飯嘅，咁佢咧就煮得快嘅，就多炒嘢，冇咩 specific， 即係佢都有好多嘢我 pick up 咗我都會煮嘅。但係如果話真係 specific things that remember from childhood 都係 from my grandma。除咗啲 regular day to day dish 嘅話咧，啲新年即係 festival 會煮嘅一啲嘢都係記得嘅。
我嘅話，我比較印象會係食嗰啲好難食嘅嘢咧，佢嗰種味道係咯，即係有啲係成同 friend 去試，我哋好中意試一啲比較睇落就好似服服地咁樣，即係啲名啊或者咩咁樣，我哋就去試咁樣，跟住試完之後好難食咁樣，咁我對嗰嚿嘢好有印象，但係對同 friend 一齊去試呢啲奇怪嘢嗰個 moment 嗰個 memory， 其實我覺得都成個即係連繫埋個食物度咯。
It brings you back like your days of just going with your friends and just, you know, just going out, trying different things, whether it tastes good or bad, like, you know, just trying different things. That's awesome. I think for me, like, I grew up wrapping like wontons and stuff like that at home. So when we would have time, we would get together and start wrapping wontons, or maybe as a family, like, I know people do a lot of like zhong, like they wrap zhong and all that. So it's like a special time to kind of just come together and really just, you know, spend time together. I think that's a precious memory that comes to my mind when I think of food when I'm eating it nowadays.
Yeah. So 大概幾多歲到啊？咁你即係開始一齊包雲吞
I think about 7 or 8 around then. So a while ago.
Your mom or dad, so they would be preparing in the kitchen and you'd be standing around, I guess.
Well, yeah, like the filling would be made, and then we would just take the wrappers or whatever, and then just like start wrapping it and putting it on a tray, and then just doing that for like hours. So now when I have wontons and stuff like that, kind of brings that sort of same memory back to me. Yeah.
我都雲吞屋企唔整雲吞嘅，可能我哋鄉下唔係點整雲吞，係啦，即係 even 我 grandma 都唔係整雲吞，少咗呢個一齊 hands on 嘅 memory 喎，會搣豆啦，坐喺度幫佢搣 handcraft 喺度包雲吞。
Yeah, togetherness.
Yeah. 我反而同其他人啲 即係啲 friend 嘅 parents， 佢哋有陣時叫埋我去，嗰啲就經歷過。
Oh, like your friends' parents would call you to go?
係咯，一齊去整雲吞啦咁。
Oh.
我覺得我屋企係包餃子，我唔 sure 佢同雲吞有咩分別。
我都唔識分。
Oh.
係啊。
I guess it's all the same. I guess it's just like that food that you eat that requires some team effort to be able to make something together. I guess. And hopefully it will taste good.
Yeah.
I guess.
咁係點
？Although it don't look good， 即係我包嗰啲永遠都係勁核突㗎啦。總之就係佢只要黐埋，唔好漏啲餡出嚟咁就算咁樣。係覺得。
But that's how you know it's yours. It's not store bought.
Yeah.
Because then it might be like they might like exchange it and you'd be like, hey, how come that looks so perfect? It's like I never knew I was so good with that.
我媽包嗰啲好靚，然後就對比係即係兩兜咁樣，就好明顯知道邊個佢包，邊個我包。跟住我自己包嗰啲會塞好多肉落去嘅，跟住塞飽佢。係啊。
I have a question. Like, what was your experience like growing up with Asian food in your household, like at school, and people that you grew up with, like around you? Did you have any sort of difficulties integrating Asian food at school or anything like that? I guess my experience might be a little bit different because I grew up here with Asian food. It was always somewhat of a challenge, not challenge, but like I would bring food to school, but I would always kind of have these looks that like people around me were not really sure what that was, or it was like smells were not as
not recognizable.
Not recognizable. It was kind of strange for other people. So then like I remember distinctively being like, oh, I don't want to bring this type of food to school because I didn't want to get like these looks and like people commenting on my food, right? Because I wanted to fit in, I guess, as an Asian Canadian growing up in school. So I don't know what some of your experiences are like.
因為即係我喺香港咁，大家都係食同樣嘅嘢，咁又冇一種即係類似係好 weird 咁樣，反而係我哋小學咧，我哋係一定要即係基本香港好多都係咁樣，一定要食 lunch box 嘅，一定係嗰幾間牌子㗎啦。咁嗰陣係超級難食嘅佢哋 lunch box。咁但係你而家大個會發覺，其實佢有 kind of 係我哋呢代人嘅一個集體回憶咁樣，即係你其實你只要同我哋差唔多年紀嘅人，大概講下嗰幾個牌子，活力午餐啊之類嗰啲，其實大家都可以回憶起嗰陣味咯，即係大家係一個 common topic 咁樣。其實而家諗翻起都幾 fun 咯，但係佢真係好難食。
我 parents 都多整 sandwich 俾我㗎。有陣時佢哋就兩個都好早返工嘅，咁所以就即係 sandwich 最快手啦。咁有陣時我話悶啊，咁就會用個飯壺咧焗一個福米。你有冇食？
咩個福米啊？
福麵你有冇食咧？即係
佢有一個福字包裝嘅公仔麵咁樣，咁但係入邊係
冇㗎呢度。
有喺華超見過。
I have to look at it.
因為係啦，寫住個福字嘅。
哦，
咁咧佢個麵，即係佢個，因為佢個 MSG 特別正㗎。
佢嗰陣味係好
strong，好 distinct。咁佢有個米粉咧，咁咧都係好好食嘅。我間學校我間小學好多香港人嘅，你嗰個唔係啊
？No, I grew up in I grew up in Scarborough. There were some Chinese. There were other Asians in my school too, but it was a general like mix, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
我哋好多香港或者竹升，大家都知道即係中國嘢係咩嘅。
Yeah.
可能係咁，所以冇 no one talked about it。咁樣咁你話你嗰陣時係即係 parents 整飯啊，有餸咁樣俾你添係咪
？Yeah, rice, noodles. They would give those like
好重。
Yeah, like the thermos.
Yeah.
And then they would have like the two compartments.
係。
You would have to like unscrew it or unhinge it or whatever.
跟住好難扭嘅。
Yeah. And then like it would be like one for the like the ingredients and all that, and then one for like the rice. And like I would always hate that thing.
Yeah.
Because like it was heavy. I could never screw it open, and I don't know, like I just didn't like the
我都記得 it takes so long to eat.
Yeah.
我係想食完就出去玩㗎啦嘛。
Exactly. Like I just wanted, I don't know, like that, and also like I just wanted to fit in. I think that was a major thing for me. So I would be like, I just want like a sandwich. Like, you know, I just want to be like everyone else, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But you know, that's for another.
我講多少少啦。
Sure.
係啦，喂，但係到 high school，即係呢度嘅 high school，咁你有冇喺 high school cafe 食嘢 canteen？
Yeah, I think in high school it was a lot better. Like I just didn't I didn't think about it too much at that point. Like I was just bringing whatever. But I was
去到我個 high school cafeteria 好難食㗎。咁
okay.
所以即係 once in a while if I get to 即係 bring rice or something， it's actually 即係其實係好食嘅。咁即係可能都會少少 awkward 啦，但係就可能開始 picky 少少啦食嘢。
I guess here the cafeterias, all you really eat is like hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, like that kind of stuff. But I'm like in Hong Kong, I guess the lunch boxes there are different, right? Like what would you be eating on like what would that look like?
如果係小學嗰隻嘅話，係有得揀㗎。
Okay.
即係你通常咧，佢有兩個餐咧，就會係有餸啦，個餸有個飯咁樣。咁兩個都好難食嘅。咁咧我哋好記得係 C 餐啦，佢就會係一啲冇乜用嘅，即係嗰啲係即係嗰啲垃圾食物咁樣。即係佢會有嗰啲炸雞啊，係啦嗰啲咯。咁所以大部分人全部都
係淋白白嘅炸雞。
係啦，淋白白嘅炸雞。即係類似咗係好食少少嘅嘢啦，相對，所以大部分都會揀 C 餐咁樣嘅。
So it just sounds like it wasn't made properly. Like the ingredients were probably good. It's just that whoever was cooking was not a very good cook at the school. No.
Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. No, you know, I'm always jealous of what other schools in other countries have to eat for lunch. Like it just seems so much more like different and like different in a good way because there's so much more variety, I guess.
係咯，即係如果你話 family 嘅 food 有陣時係即係 it's better memory, I guess. 咁學校嘅 food it can be very
traumatizing.
Bad but fun memories.
Yeah, like you don't the food's not good, but you're at least enjoying that experience with all the people around you.
嗱，我覺得呢個都係啲 culture 嘅嘢咯，即係好似我喺香港大咁樣，我習慣咗。我食嘅每一餐都係要熱㗎啦，所以你話如果係 lunch 你會 prefer sandwich 啊嗰啲嘅話，我覺得我食唔到幾日咯，即係可能食一兩日 sandwich OK， 但係每日都食啲凍冰冰嘅嘢，好似你開頭講咁樣，我會唔中意咯，我會中意啲熱啲嘅嘢。
We'll get you a hot sandwich next time. Okay, this has been really great talking to our other hosts on here, and you know, I love food, so I could continue talking about this for hours and hours, but we don't have a time limit for sure. What I wanted to do and wrap up with is that, you know, food is such a powerful entity. It's, for me, no matter what culture of food you're eating, it can often form a bond with you, especially if we grew up eating those foods with our family. And we should definitely be proud of the food and cultural heritage that food comes from and what our family represents. Aside from just the good tasting food that fills our stomachs that we need to survive, I also believe that food has the ability to touch the heart. Food is one of those things that comes to mind that can be said to help transcend across different cultures, and it can help to do this regardless of what language you speak. Some other things that come to mind that also has this power is, for example, music, art, or dance. And we can talk about some of those things later on. What are some of the things that you can think of? Even if there are language barriers between us and our parents, food often explicits a strong power that can bring together young and old together. The foods that we eat often have stories, meaning, or memories behind them. If there's a dish that you often have at your household or your parents have made for you years ago, or I guess for years, or if it's a tradition in your household, ask them about it. There may be a story behind it that you may not know about. Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. I hope you got hungry just listening to us talk about food, culture, and the stories and sharings behind them. I certainly feel very hungry right now. Make sure to subscribe, leave feedback, and tune in next time to another Coffee Bubble Tea episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.